Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Atlanta Sports Unlimited, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. See, I'm smiling. See, the Falcons handled their business in London. They beat the New York Jets 27-20. Finally got another win, 2-3.
Well, you had a great couple of days. Falcons win, and you celebrated your birthday.
Yeah.
Wow! I mean, how can you know what? You can't have it better than that. That's a nice long weekend for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then Georgia won Saturday the day
Oh
before. So
wow!
it just went in
Yeah,
succession. So it was great.
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. There you go. Well, here it is. The Falcons went across the pond and did what they were supposed to do. This was the best outing of the year by far by this Atlanta Falcons team, offensively, defensively, special teams wise, whatever it may be. You know, Here it is what we've been talking about weeks ago, months ago, where if you thought you were coming here and change what Matt Ryan was, is just hand the ball off and play action, and he only throw the ball 20, 25 times a game, you were mistaken because Matt Ryan is a gunslinger and that's what he does. Now, we ran for over 100 yards. I mean, I know 3.7, but that's good enough. It was sufficient enough to hold the Jets off a little bit and confuse them a little bit. Now, people said, well, Matt Ryan had a big day. Calvin Ridley wasn't there. Kyle Pitts stepped up, blah, blah, blah. Here's what happens sometimes, William, is this. As a offensive coordinator and as a quarterback, when you don't have the number one guy there, there's no pressure to get him balls.
Mhm.
Now you can just call your offense and go into a flow and everybody gets involved. And as you see, everyone got involved. It was the coming out party for Kyle Pitts. When they showed him warming up and the way he was coming off the ball when he was warming up before the game started, I said, this is the way this guy needs to play. He comes out in that game and he comes off the ball running hard, running his routes full speed. And when that happened, great things happen. When you just go through the motion, try to feel your way, you're not ready to play football. This young man was ready to play football on Sunday, and he showed why we drafted him number 4 overall in the draft.
Yeah, he did some fantastic things on Sunday. That one-handed catch he made
Yes.
was quite amazing, especially for a tight end.
Right.
His
Right.
size and mobility.
Right.
He's going to be a problem for NFL secondary and the
Well,
linebackers included.
he's going to be a big problem. Here it is. The touchdown he caught where the linebacker was covering him and he made the move on him. Linebacker can't cover this guy,
Mhm.
and as long as he's continued to play fast and play physical, he is going to be a force. He can't go backwards from here. You got to grow from here. Okay, what you did Sunday, let it go. Let's move on to this week and improve this week because now they're going to play you harder. They're going to do some things differently defensively to try to stop you. Can't get frustrated. You just got to keep playing ball and do what you do. Matt Ryan is doing a great job of spreading football around, even though we still had some drops. But those guys, here's the thing about those drops, though. They were getting open.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There was some separation. And that's a good feeling for a quarterback where there's separation and he's throwing the ball in open areas and it's not a tight window for him. And Matt Ryan showed why he's one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL on Sunday.
I wanted to do a new kind of like a thing, and I told you about it before. Where we do, I want to ask you the good, the bad, and the ugly from
Mm-hmm,
the game.
mm-hmm,
What
mm-hmm.
was the good from the Falcons Jets game?
They won. That
Yeah.
was good. They dominated the game, even though the score was 20-27. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
They scored at the end. So what? Whatever it is, but it wasn't even that close. The Falcons dominated defensively, offensively, special teams wise, and they were in full control of that game from the outset. And that's what you want to see. The teams that you're supposed to beat, you're
Mhm.
supposed to dominate. You're supposed to dominate the New York Jets, and that's what they did. Uh,
The
the
bad.
the bad in it, you know, I didn't really see much bad. The thing was is of course, you would want to not turn the ball over. That's the thing. I think that was the bad of it, is not turning the ball over. And the ugly part of it was, you can't give up cheap touchdowns at the end.
Mhm.
When you have a team, you're the thing that you're going to remember is what you did in that fourth quarter, in the last minutes of the game. And ugly, let's don't give up cheap cheap points, even though the game is won. Do not fall back and just say, hey, game is over whatsoever. You got to dominate, because that resonates, and it propels you into the next week.
Yeah, oh yeah, the game was great, and I'm glad they won. My only concerns or problem was those turnovers, those fumbles, two by Hayden Hurst, one of which
Mhm,
he actually did lose. They recovered.
mhm.
What do you are we going to keep two tight ends next year? Do you think we're
Let
going
me.
to?
I don't know what's going to happen next year, but let me tell you something. Hayden Hurst is a problem. He can run, he can catch, he can run after the catch, he gets open whatsoever. And it was good to see him finally be a part of the offense this year.
Mhm.
And I think that Matt Ryan is confident with Hayden Hurst on the field, because he knows now I have a fast, big target that can get open and make plays, along with Kyle Pitts and the rest of the crew. Go Cordell Patterson and those crews. So here's the thing we talked about 2 weeks ago: get the ball in the playmakers' hands,
Mhm.
and that's what they did. It happens. If you play in the NFL long enough, you're gonna fumble the ball. You're gonna drop balls. It happens. And the thing is how do you come back next week and rectify that situation? And Hurst is a professional. He's a pro. He doesn't complain. And the thing is, he see the writing on the wall when they drafted Kyle Pitts, but he was going out there to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to prove that I belong and I can play. And just got overexcited and put the ball on the ground a couple of times. That happens. But I can the thing is, if it wasn't for effort, you can say, "Oh man," but he was trying. It was effort fumbles, and I can deal with that.
Cordero Patterson did well again. He has been such a bright spot in this Falcons offense. He didn't get a touchdown, but he made big plays in the receiving game and the run game. When he went down at first for the concussion
Yeah,
protocol, I was worried he
right.
wasn't going to come back. But when he came back, I mean, he's an instant spark for that offense, and I see Matt Ryan is real comfortable with him already.
Yeah. Well, here it is, and because of the emergence of Cordell Patterson, you can have a Kyle Pitts have the kind of game he has. Because now you're focusing on where's Cordell Patterson. He's in the backfield. He's in the slot. He's out wide. Where is he? And so now you get that one-on-one matchup somewhere else. So now what happens is now a team is going to say, well, we got to worry about Kyle Pitts. Where's Kyle Pitts? Let's worry about. And then here come Cordell Patterson doing his thing again. So what do? It's a matchup nightmare. Then when you put Hurst on the field and some of those other weapons on the field, what do? You can't. You got to play man to man, and playing man to man against this football team and Matt Ryan is a no no.
It looked like they were going to do a reverse pass when they handed it off to Cordero. So I imagine he's going to get him one this season. They're going to
Yeah,
probably pull that
yeah,
back out where he actually
yeah,
throws the ball.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know what happened to that receiver. I don't know if it was miscommunication.
Yeah,
Somebody went the wrong route. Somebody didn't get it. But whatever it was, yeah. Falcons pulling out all the tricks, which is good. The thing is, you hit in today's NFL, you can't be conservative and think you're gonna win football games.
yeah.
That's not gonna happen. You got to let it go. You got to open up the playbook and just let it ride. Because as we've seen Monday Night Football, the Ravens down 19 and scored 22 unanswered to come back and win that game in overtime. The game was never over. So you can never lay back and think it's the old NFL. I'm gonna run it, run it, run it, run the clock out, punt it, defense is gonna stop. The offense is way too talented these days. And as you see, even with this past game, even with a rookie, they scored late because it's just that type of game. So you got to keep putting your foot on that gas pedal and keep going, and apologize later for scoring touchdowns at the end of the game. Because at the end of the day, I always say this: you want me to let up? Wait a minute. Your job is to stop me.
Yeah.
My job is to I'm just calling plays. I'm just calling plays. I'm not gonna lay down because we're beating you and and you want me to feel sorry for you. No, I'm gonna call plays. I'm gonna keep getting it because you're a professional.
Mhm.
Your coach is a professional coach. You got to find a way to stop me, and that's the key. And I think that those coaches that think that teams run it up on them, in the same situation, you would do the same thing. You get your feelings hurt.
Yeah, I was glad that the Falcons kept their foot on the gas because
Yes.
the Jets tried to get close, but that late touchdown to Mike Davis, I was glad because that sealed it. Like you said,
Well,
they got that field goal, but that didn't really matter. That was over with when Mike Davis scored.
they did what they had to do in the fourth quarter, which they didn't do the week prior. You
Yes.
know, they took the ball when they needed to score points. They marched it all the way down and scored. Didn't
Mhm.
do that the week before. If we'd have had that same series from the Jets game to the Redskins game and scored, we would have won that game. But it is what it is. The Falcons are still in it right now. They got they got a bye week this week. They get a chance to heal up, especially that secondary, and then we're ready to roll.
What did Terrence Mathis do during the bye week?
Man, I rested my. You know what? I didn't like bye weeks
Mhm.
because I wanted to play every week, but that bye week was a chance for me to polish up and to work on my craft. And that's what I did during that week. I didn't get a lot of reps, but doing individual period, one-on-one periods, throwing with the quarterback, I polished up my routes and fixed some things that I thought that needed to be fixed to make me better in later in the season.
So the Falcons, this is what we just what, game five,
Yeah.
so 2 and 3. So
Hmm.
did you like having your bye week this early, or you prefer later on in the season?
Well, it
Yep.
I would rather have it now because I wanted to play all the way. When you get on the roll,
Mhm.
especially late in the season,
Mhm.
you don't want a bye week.
Yeah.
You want to you get on the roll like right now with the Falcons, and it's a good time because you just came from overseas. You
Yeah.
just came from over the pond, so it's a great time for a bye week. But you know, you have a little momentum going right now. So the thing is, you want to keep going, keep going, and keep going, and keep winning as many games as you can. Um, without a break here and there. And that's the way I felt. I just wanted to play football every week. I didn't like bye weeks.
And as a coach, what are you doing during this bye week? Are you taking any break, or are you still on the grind and preparing?
I'm
Just
still on the grind. I'm still on the grind. I'm still preparing like we got a game this week. As a coach, what you're doing is you fixing some things. You want to see some things. You even want to see some players if they can help you at this time. You want to rest the players a little bit, but not too much where they get rusty. You want to get a good sweat in, a good workout in with them. Make sure we're on point, we're sharp whatsoever, and then you play the backups. Make sure they're sharp. Make sure they're doing the things necessary in case they have to step in and step up for your team.
so there would be no practicing going on during the bye week. Maybe
Yes,
little.
yes. It won't be any pounding.
Yeah.
Well, here it
Yeah.
is. I said no pounding. The NFL don't pound anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, so you probably be in shorts and shoulder pads and helmets, most of the week, and
Okay.
then probably towards the end, usually what happens is uh, they probably have until Wednesday, Thursday off
Mhm.
and have some practice time and then go through and then it transitions into next week. It's hard to practice now, give time off, and then try to come in the next week sharp because now you done had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then you're trying to get back into a groove. So it's easier to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off and have Thursday, Friday practice, have a Saturday morning walkthrough, and then have Sunday off and come back Monday and get prepared.
I'm gonna say that environment seemed like it was good for the Falcons. It seemed like a good home crowd. The fans were making noise and people in the seats. So I hate it had to be in London, but yeah, it seemed like
Well, you know what? Because here's the thing, because the fans, you got to understand, international fans understand greatness. They understand Matt Ryan is one of the best in the league.
Mhm.
And Zach Wilson is a newbie. He's an unknown. to them. So they know Matt Ryan. So they're going to cheer for who they know, and they know Matt Ryan, and they know this Falcons team. They've been over there before, and the thing was is that what I enjoyed about it is the energy that Matt Ryan had the whole game, even on the sidelines
Yes.
whatsoever. That's what I want to see from him here on out. Next 12 games, I want to see him with that same kind of intensity, that sense of urgency, that energy, that passion. Because as he goes, the Atlanta Falcons go.
Yeah, 100%. Seventh quarterback all time with 5,000 completions. And,
Yes.
a lot of people, give Matt flack, but I'm like, that's seven. There's only seven in the
Right.
history of NFL. I mean, he
Well,
continues, and as long as he stays healthy and continues to play in this league, he's going to keep breaking records.
well,
Uh,
the reason why they give him flack is records are records, but wins carry a whole lot more.
yes.
And that's what the fans are. Look, we know he's the sticks. Stat wise, that he is one of the best all time. We know that. We know that. But at the end of the day, they want wins. They want championships. They want Super Bowls. That's what they want.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But I guess is what I'm saying is this, people will rush him out the door as in
Yeah.
someone's going to walk through and
Yeah.
got us to the Super Bowl day
Yeah.
one.
Well, if you're looking at social media and whatsoever, it's been quiet about Matt Ryan lately.
Yeah.
You got to understand, Matt Ryan is a baller. He is a baller. He's tough. You seen him get hit one time and right in the chops. He
Yes.
got back up. He's
Mhm.
a tough guy. He makes plays. Of course, when your team is losing. Let me now, and I've said this before. The only two people in the in an NFL franchise that gets wins and losses is the head coach and the quarterback.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. When you look at a head coach, you look at his record. When you look at a quarterback, you look at his record. You never look at a wide receiver and look at his record or running back or offensive lineman. Deep. Nobody else is
Mhm.
only even the owner. You don't even look at the owner that way. You look at the head coach and the quarterback. So they are the face of the franchise.
Oh, you're right. Because I mean, after that Washington loss, he had 4 touchdowns, no picks, and people were like, all of the, talking about Matt Ryan and the loss. But when they beat the Jets, you ain't really heard much. It's
No,
been
no,
crickets.
no. But here's the thing: you just got to be objective and subjective of what you say and how you say it. And at the end of the day, like I said, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has freedom of speech. But right now, Matt Ryan is as I always said, he has to put the ball up in the air. He's better. The more he throws the football, the better the Falcons are.
And our young defense started to look. They looked much better on Sunday. Jalen Hawkins had an interception.
Yeah,
Finally got to see Richie Grant
yeah,
play.
yes,
Big AO had a
yes,
sack.
yes.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the future of this franchise. And here's these guys. And I always say you play your young guys because they don't know any better. They're not one to already have made it, already done things, and everybody rest on the laurels of what they've done years past. Here's guys who trying to make it, trying to make a name for themselves, and they're hungry. They're
Mhm.
hungry, and they want to be out there and play because they don't know when their next opportunity is going to arise. So they're going to play hard at that moment because they know that look, at any moment I'm gonna be standing on the sideline next to the coach. But if I perform and keep giving those wild plays, I'm gonna play more.
Definitely. Well, I want to switch gears for a moment from the Atlanta Falcons. I want to talk about the other big news in the NFL. John Gruden, if people aren't aware, he did resign yesterday from the Oakland Raiders following his leaked emails where he said a lot of egregious things, racism, misogynist, anti-labor, anti concussions. He was
Hmm.
everything. I mean, he
Yes,
covered all the
cover our
list.
bases.
Covered it all. Were you shocked by John Gruden's comments, or is this
No,
the culture of the NFL?
I was not. I don't know why people are shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why. Why would you be shocked?
Me
Here it
personally,
is.
I wasn't, but yes, I agree.
Here it is that for years there's what we call been a good old boy system. It's
Mm-hmm.
been a good old boy system for years. Look at the ownership. Look at ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to see more minorities in places, in organizations, but at the end of the day, trust me, a lot of people from owners to GMs to personnel people to coaches right now are holding their breath and having their fingers crossed right now that some of the things they have said won't get out this week. Because I'm telling you right now, there are journalists right now that are digging and searching to see who else is doing this and who else is saying this. And I'm not shocked. Shame on John Gruden for expressing himself outwardly whatsoever. It caught up to him. It's gonna William. It's not over.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you, it
definitely
is
not.
not over because with the investigation with the Washington football team, there's gonna be more. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you, all 32 teams are about to be investigated. And the thing is because the NFL is trying to change the culture of what has been over the years, as we say, that good old boy uh, system where the players are the field hands and doing all the things, and the owners are not allowing uh, certain players to leave the game and sit at the same table with them,
Hmm.
and it's gonna come out. I'm telling you, it's really, and I'm not happy or glad that he resigned, but it was one of those things that probably needed to happen for people to open their eyes to see what we've been saying for years and what others been saying for years about the National Football League and its ownership and those who are deeply involved in the country club mentality of the NFL.
And I'm going to ask you like other people's opinions, but would you defend your former coach if it comes out a former coach said some things like this? Because some of the other former athletes were quick to rush to his savior, but I haven't heard anything from them since um, he resigned. But at first, when he made the first comments about DeMaurice Smith, some people are like, "Oh, he made it. That's not him. I know him." Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I just, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, before you even, you know, at the end of the day, whatever your relationship with John Gruden is your
Mhm.
relationship, and
Right.
that's all you can speak about is my relationship with a coach and how he treats me,
Mhm.
and and that's what those players were talking about. They never seen uh, the the language or the actions of his emails publicly or outwardly in the locker room or whatsoever. They never seen that. But at the end of the day, at some point a man is going to show you who he really is.
Mhm.
And the thing is, and you better believe it. No matter how he treated you, good, bad, differently, ugly, whatever it may be, it he's going to show his true colors and who he is at some point. And that's why I've always said this, and I've said this for years, is this, William, is this. When you put your trust in man, man will fail you every time.
Mhm.
Now, if you pray for this man, for God will be done in him, that's going to affect you in a positive way and affect the environment, that's differently. But when you just trusted his in man's word and his doing whatsoever, at some point he's going to disappoint you and let you down. So you can't be surprised by that. If you know that, you'll
Mhm.
never be surprised.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know why people put trust into man. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you only can. I mean, once you showed me your card, so to
Yeah.
speak, I don't.
Yeah.
I'd be foolish of me to think anything otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, I think that the league they're going to have to eventually. We've got to get some minority ownership in this league. That's that's a major problem, and until that happens, you're going to have this good old boy network that's going to continue. In my eyes, I don't think they'll gloss over it and Gruden's gone, but like you said, more is going to come out about this. Those are like
Right.
six
It's gonna be
hundred and
more.
fifty thousand
Yeah.
emails.
Yeah. It's gonna be more.
And like you
And
said, like, and the thing is, it's the Washington football team. Why? There's something that owner has written.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
there's
Yeah. So it's not over. But William, here it is about minority or African American ownership is this. you got to understand it's not like if, say for instance, Arthur Blank wanted to sell the football team,
Hmm.
okay, and you say, you know, just throw a name out there, say uh Michael Jordan
Hmm.
wants to buy the team. He may have all, he's a billionaire, right? Michael Jordan's a billionaire. He's in the billionaire club. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because guess what? 31 other owners
Owners.
have to vote, and it has to be a, a large majority, not like a 51-49. It has to be a large majority
Hmm.
that says yes. So, and so you're asking uh, a group of men who have been doing this for years and have been splitting the pie between the 32 of them, and you asking somebody else to come into your fold, and you got to somebody you don't know.
Hmm.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen because we thought we'd never see a black president, and it happened.
Yeah.
We had it for 8 years, 2 terms. So I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but until that voting system changes, we always talking about voting changes, don't we? When
Hmm.
that voting system changes in ownership, NFL ownership, we're not going to see that happen.
Yeah, it's wild. There's got to be some change, and besides the NFL just using words, they got to have action
Right,
behind it.
right,
That's all it will. Just fall on deaf ears. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, everything in there was just it was crazy. Like even the concussion thing, where
right.
he was mad that he
Mhm.
felt like Godell was making the league soft. Like you don't even want to protect your own players. Like
Right,
as a
right,
player, that had to be
right,
infuriating to read. Like wow.
right, right. Well, John Gruden is old school. He's old school. You don't call him Chucky for nothing. He has that 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 look about him that makes you think, "Ooh, this is a mean guy," And but at the end of the day, his colleagues, eh, former players, former coaches, they're gonna stand up for him because he may have been good to them.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you can't say you can't say as a minority, as a gay person, as a female, if you know him, you cannot say, well, he couldn't have been talking to me because he likes me. No,
Exactly.
it's it's all of us.
Exactly.
It's all of us. If it's one, it's all.
Hmm.
So you got to look at it that way. And the thing is that uh, this is this is for a moment a black eye for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a black eye for the NFL, and they're gonna have to heal from this, and in a hurry.
Yeah. I just in a little pick'em league, I picked the Bears when they played the Raiders
Yeah.
just because I felt like they
Hmm.
weren't going to win that game, and
Right.
sure enough, they did not.
Right.
Uh, they shouldn't have been coaching that game, but
Right.
and that's
You
the other
know,
thing. I don't think Mark Davis would have done anything if more of these emails wouldn't have came out.
I don't think so either because
So he don't
I
deserve
I
my
don't want to
line. He
give.
don't deserve a pat on his back because he
Yeah.
just did what he
Yeah.
had to do
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. The thing is if he didn't do it, the NFL was going to do it.
Hmm.
So and then it would look bad for you as ownership that you didn't step in and do anything. So now the players are looking like, hey, you side with this the way this this is you side with this. So it's going to be a long. It's not going. It's going to be a healing process for this football team. This locker room, they're talking about it. Today is their day off, um, which is somewhat good. But come tomorrow morning, they're going to talk about this,
Yeah.
and it's going to have to be addressed by the coaches whatsoever. It's the same thing that's happening in Jacksonville. Players are talking about it. I see that one player says, he has no credibility in his locker room.
Hmm.
He never did the first day he stepped in. We talking about Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
So, what do you do as an owner? You know, who's more important is is the product or the coach? So we'll see what happens in that situation.
Jacksonville is probably over like this, like, okay, we ain't got, we can
We're
maybe,
out of the news.
yeah, we're
We're
out
out
of
of
the
the news.
news.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and William, I'm not sitting here judging anyone. I'm not one to judge, but I'm just stating what is happening and what has happened. And the thing is that uh, how do you fix it? How do you fix it? It's a broken system. We thought we were going forward, but we're not. We thought we were moving forward faster, but we're not. We're still crawling. We're still in the infant stage of of loving and respecting each other, especially in the NFL. So uh, here we are today. Thought everything was good, and the NFL fans back in the stands, and we thought everything was good whatsoever, and it was getting better, and then we were coming together, and then this happens. Um, but as you know, and as I know, NFL fans are resilient. They're gonna come together. They're gonna support each other. They're gonna support the game that they love, and we'll move on from this.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Miami next week because
Yes.
again, there's Falcons have a bye, so we don't want to get into that right now. So, what do you got for us in the show today, Terrence?
Well, it's just pretty much what I just said. I'm not one to judge. I don't want to judge because I don't want to be judged at the end of my life. Because of the things that I've done and the things that I've said that don't get me where I want to be, and that's heaven. So at the end of the day, you know, I try my best not to judge. It is what it is. A lot of this stuff, you can say this is none of my business. You can say it's none of your business, but it is because it affects you. If it's happening in the NFL, it's happening in the boardrooms, corporate America, in
100%.
the educational system, in the healthcare system, in the banking system. It's happening everywhere. So it does affect you and it does concern you. So the thing is that at the end of the day, man, just pray for each other. And I tell you this, I'm gonna say this, William. If you pray for each other, watch things turn around. Watch things turn around. And I'm gonna leave you with that.
All right. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Y'all have a great day.
Peace.